Okay, I think we can get started now. So let's get it going. So today's webinar, key ways to transform your firm into a legal powerhouse. So let's get started. All right, so my name is Eytan Haddad. I'm one of the senior account managers here at PracticePanther. And on my right here, or right above me, we have Claire Barnes.
Hello.
So a little bit about Claire. Claire and I have worked together for a few years now. She's amazing. She's actually the president and founder of Integrated Visions, actually based in San Diego. And for over 25 years, she's helped thousands of firms tailor their practice management software to their firms, unique way of doing business, because everyone does things a little bit different. And she makes sure that, the software that you pick is going to work perfectly for the way that you work. So she's awesome. She's highly respected in the industry and also has an amazing accounting background. So it'll be a great fit if that's something that you need help with as well. So let's get started.
Thanks, Eytan, for the opportunity to join you guys today and for such a nice introduction. And I'd just like to add that as a controller, it distinguishes me from a lot of other consulting groups because in addition to having the experience and background to organize and implement practice management solutions, I can also offer you advice on accounting related issues. And I've worked closely with PracticePanther for several years now. And what we try to do is take as much of the software transition off of the shoulders of the client as possible and kind of do all the heavy lifting. And the way that we work together is that PracticePanther and I usually handle the migrations together. They'll do the basic training, and then my group takes you to the finish line to refine the software to your way of doing business with things like custom fields, workflows, document templates, and such. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Eytan, get started about what it means to be a legal powerhouse.
Thanks, Claire. So what does it mean to be a legal powerhouse? So that means implementing technology correctly from the beginning. Your firm has processes that everyone is used to. You need to implement technology correctly from the start. So that means, you need to reevaluate your processes. You need to automate your law firm and keep adapting. Technology changes on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And so getting a software that adapts with your firm is huge, and that's something that's going to really help elevate your firm to the next level.
And I find with a lot of law firms, I hear people saying, I just want to practice law. I don't want to be burdened with the software, but sometimes the internal operations that are in place right now kind of stifle that growth. And it's time to maybe turn the page, take on some of this automation to increase the productivity from an administrative standpoint, mostly, but also from a collaborative standpoint with the attorneys being able to have information at their fingertips with their entire team, as opposed to just having things in their own little world. And then this automation also helps you to respond much more quickly to your clients' needs. Go ahead, next slide.
So let's talk about a little bit about PracticePanther. It's a tool that can really make your firm a legal powerhouse. So we've been around since 2012, and since day one, key goal is to be the easiest software to use. A few of the many things that you can do with us that are really big game changers: automating workflows, setting conditional tasks, reminders, custom tags, seamless case management, having the ability to see all of your cases in one spot, all the deadlines, the appointments, your full main calendar, plus the ability to do your billing all in one. Plus we have built-in online payments that are completely compliant with the ABA, your IOTA, and pretty much approved by every state bar as well. And we even have secure built-in e-signature as well. So you can send documents directly from our software, have people sign those documents, and those files come right back to the software, all organized in one spot. So no need to use third-party systems. It's all built in one. So let's start with intakes. So this is something that is going to really take these software to the next level, make your firm way more efficient. Intake forms in our software are built directly within, so no need for a third party, no need to pay for an extra add-on or anything like that. You can build and customize an intake form directly from our software, send it from our software, and even embed it on your website. When someone gets that form, they fill it out, that populates back into your software, creates new contacts, creates new matters. You can use it to update existing information. So for example, send an initial intake form to someone, collect that information, and then you can send another one right after, and you can use it to create a new matter or use it to update that existing contact that you have. And these intake forms are completely customizable. We even have people put their logo, their colors, even put it on a tablet like an iPad. So when someone comes to the office, you hand them an iPad, you hand them a tablet instead of a clipboard with a piece of paper, and that will populate directly into your case management software. And not only does it allow you to put in new clients, new contacts, use this to track your leads. Keep track, and it'll even track of where that person came in from, what intake form they filled out. And so you can see where they came in from, when they became a client, and track referrals and where each person is, where your main contacts are coming in from, including clients. So it's a really great feature that's all built in within our software. So this is personally my favorite feature in the software. Reporting and tags are huge because what this does, this is going to allow you to create your own filters for your contacts, matters, and activities. And the way people use this, especially for contacts, is you could first put what type of contact this is. Is this a client? Is this a lead? Is this another attorney? You want to be able to track where each person or who each person is. And not only will you be able to track each contact, you can track your matters, such as the practice area, the type of work, the different statuses or stages in a matter. So if at any point you want to run a report and want to see, how much time you spent on one specific practice area, or how much money has come in from this specific referral source, tags will allow you to do exactly that.
And I'd like to add with the contacts, another way that you can use those tags, which is awesome, especially this time of the year as we get into a holiday season, is a contact record can have multiple tags. So, somebody could be tagged as a client, but they could also be tagged as the holiday card group. Like maybe you don't want to send every client a holiday card, right? So you can put a subcategory on there. And then when you get ready to run your holiday cards, it's a heck of a lot easier to say, show me all the contacts who I want to receive the holiday card. Another example is referring attorneys. Like many times if there's a client that for whatever reason you can't take them on, but you want to refer them to another attorney, you may want to have that attorney in the system as an attorney, but also as one of your referral attorneys. So just another example of the power of tagging.
Sure. I see Laura has a question. Is there a visual component to this webinar? Are you having any issues seeing the screen? It should be visual to everyone. Yeah, we'll have someone check that out. So let's talk about tasks on autopilot with our workflows. So a really great tool that just makes you so much more efficient is the fact that you can build and customize your own workflows in the software. So this is going to allow you to create a template of steps based on your common processes. So instead of having to create the same 5-10 things, whether you have to manually put it into your software or you have to manually put it into your calendar, a software like this is going to allow you to create and customize a list that will automatically apply, calculate the dates for you, and you can even create conditional tasks and events. And the cool thing about these tasks and events, anything that you add into our software will automatically populate and sync to your Outlook, Google Calendar directly. And that's a two-way sync. So you have your full calendar and everything stays organized in one spot. An amazing feature with our software. The beauty of using a system like ours that has case management and billing is we have our money finder feature. Because something we hear so often is people get so busy, they forget to bill for the things that they do. And then they're losing thousands of dollars a year on lost billable time. Our software will actually allow you to see if you've completed the test, all the things that you've put in, and you actually see if you've logged your time for those. With one click, you can log your time for those lost activities, those lost billable times. And essentially that's the way a software essentially pays for itself. 1 hour a week, 1 to 2 hours a week, the full year the software has been paid for. Such an awesome feature because you'll be able to see the tasks and events that you put into our software and also the tasks and events that have synced over from your Outlook or Google Calendar. And then with those tasks and events that I mentioned, you can even have the software send you reminders with pop-ups, emails, and text messages. Not only can they be sent to you, they can be sent to other users you have. You have your paralegals, your partners, the people that you're going to be adding into the software. Software will text them, so no need to constantly follow up with them. Software will text them. You want to invite your client to a meeting. You want to notify your client of the court that they have coming up. The software will even text, email them right away. With up to 5 reminders per event, you can notify them days, hours, minutes in advance. And when it comes to communication with you and your clients, no need to go back and forth via email. You have a client portal that you can use with our software that's going to automatically create a secure encrypted portal where you can invite your client to that. They can customize the logo, the colors, create their own password. You can assign them tasks and events. They can see all their upcoming deadlines and appointments. They can see their invoice history, their payment history, the files that you've sent, and secure encrypted messages all in one spot. So any communication with you and the client always ties back to the matter.
And the accounting integration, so PracticePanther, Eytan was just showing you that part, has a link with QuickBooks Online. And the information that you enter into the PracticePanther system for invoices and payments are going to automatically post to QuickBooks. So, I don't know if you do accounting at all, it's hard enough to do it right once, let alone twice. So anytime that you can streamline that workflow, you're going to improve your efficiency and accuracy. And so what we do is, because the folks at PracticePanther, they can help you integrate, but we take it a step further and help you plan for that, about how to move your existing balances. We can help with the setup of the QuickBooks or the transfer. Sometimes it's just an export import, and activate. And once the link is activated, we'll train you on the inner workings of how that link works. And then once you're live, if you'll notice over, I don't know if my cursor works, but over here on the right, there's a QB in a circle with an arrow. And so when you're looking inside the program, you'll see invoices, payments that will have that little QB on it. And then that's how you know that that particular entry has transferred. And entries won't transfer twice. So the fact that it's been tagged as being sent to QuickBooks, it won't send it over a second time. And so then once PracticePanther sends that information over to QuickBooks, QuickBooks is, of course, where you're going to continue to use it for your accounting purposes, the normal bank reconciliations, financial statements, things of that nature. And then as a consultant, the value that we add to help you all propel to a legal powerhouse is by setting, one of the things Eytan said early on was setting the database up right from the beginning is part of the key to success. And so that's where the many years, over 20 years of experience that we have supporting other law offices can come in handy. And when we have a project, it usually goes something like, we'll start off with a discovery call that's just a free call. And then that's just to get acquainted, to see if we can work together. And as a consultant, we work with you however you need us to. You know, if you want to do things on your own, then do it on your own. But we're here to be that support system for you. And the one thing that whether we help you or you do it on your own, I strongly recommend a needs analysis before even buying the software. Make sure you're super clear on what it is that your office needs the software to do. Like, what do you do now? And don't take anything for granted. So, for example, I've had in my years of experience in evaluating software, I see things such as, you know, I bill for flat fees. Okay, well, how do you bill for flat fees? You know, so you need to make sure that however you do certain functions and reports and so on, that you're used to getting out of your current system, that you're still going to be able to get that information out of the new system. And your needs analysis, we really roll up our sleeves. We get into show us what your intake process is, give us forms that you use, and we use that data to set up custom fields, custom intake forms, the document templates. All of the fields that you set up as custom fields are considered mail merge fields for those documents. And those are the things that are going to really seal the deal for you and take you guys to the next level of streamlining your office. And then once we have a clear idea of what your needs are, we plan out the project with dates and, you know, who's going to do what and so on and so forth. And then the migration is going to take place. As I said earlier, the folks at PracticePanther will do, I typically will take the data out of whatever system that you're currently using and present it, modify it and present it to them in the manner that they need to import. Again, trying to take that off of your shoulders. Again, you want to do it yourself, that's fine. And then they do the basic training, and then we do anything that you want specific for your firm beyond the basic training, and both of us provide ongoing support. And then of course we can do any special projects that you have. So basically the consultant is to kind of do some of that heavy lifting to kind of keep you moving in the right direction and to give you advice on how to make that system work the way that you all work. And so some of the benefits of using somebody with experience is that it saves time, frustration, money, and saving time. You know, you just can't, you know, exchange the years of industry experience and ideas that we've got from other clients and associate those best practices because that minimizes your transition mistakes. And frustrations just along those same lines. You know, it can be really, really hard to it's like you can see, okay, well, I know I need custom fields, but what does that mean? How do I do it? Which one should I set up? And that's where the needs analysis comes in. That's where that translation is going to come from what it is that you all do, translating it into the language of the software. And then we refine that to support your specific firm's needs. And, you know, a lot of times people say, well, you know, consultants are expensive, you know. Well, that may be true. We cost money, but we also save money. So we save money by getting you there faster, more accurately, and with fewer errors. And you all are able to remain billable while the software is being set up. Eytan?
Yeah, so just to reiterate, you know, what does it mean to become a legal powerhouse? It's implementing technology correctly from the beginning. So, you know, your firm has processes, everyone's used to them. So, you know, change is scary. So, you want to implement technology correctly from the start. So that means, you know, you got to reevaluate your current processes, you know, automate your law firm and keep adapting, which is huge. And so we went over a bunch today, you know, so we want to, you know, make sure you didn't miss anything. So this recording will be online. We'll also send it over to you. You can also, if you'd like to learn a little more about our software, you can schedule a demo at practicepanther.com/demo. You can also email me directly at eytan@practicepanther.com. You can always reach out to Claire at integrated-visions.com. So we'd like to take this time to go into some questions. If anyone has any questions, we actually have a few in our chat right now. So I see one, what makes PracticePanther different from the competition? So one of the main things that makes us different, we're the easiest software to use on the market. So there's really barely any learning curve. On top of that, we offer the most value for the money. So it doesn't require extra add-ons or additional fees to use certain pieces of the software. So everything's built in one. And on top of that, there's barely any learning curve. So you get in, and one of the scariest things when it comes to switching to a new software is that it takes weeks or months to learn how to use it. Most people that get our software will be using it within the first day or two because it really is just 1 or 2 clicks to figure out how it works. We just try to keep it as simple as possible, but we don't hide, don't confuse simplicity with lacking functionality, because we do so much compared to everyone else as well, which is awesome.
And I see a question, it looks like from Arthur here. It says, will all of my accounting data transfer from my current software? No. Whatever your current software is, when you transfer to pretty much any accounting system, what you're doing is you're going to be taking the ending trial balance for whatever last close period that you have, and we'll be bringing that forward. We'll also take a look if you've got any unpaid bills, or whatever you've got in the system. We'll make sure that your vendor balances are correct. But the transactional data, like the historical debits and credits that have been, say, in your QuickBooks desktop product forever, that information does not transfer. Well, actually, it does. If you're in, let me correct something. If you're in QuickBooks QuickBooks Desktop, all of that information will transfer to QuickBooks Online because that's QuickBooks to QuickBooks. But if you're in any other software program, the only thing that will come over will be the opening balances. Sorry for that confusion.
I see another question. What if I don't want some of my staff to see financials or things they aren't working on? So with our software, we have some of the most advanced security rules on the market, where you can limit to what each user you have in there, what they can create, view, edit, and delete per feature. So if you don't want someone to be able to see the financials, you don't want someone to be able to delete invoices, or you don't even want someone to log in from outside of the office, you can even restrict from IP address using our software.
All right, and there's another question about how long does it take to migrate the data? Well, that depends. But the migration typically will do a data pull on one day. Of course, this is all going to be scheduled out, and we'll grab your data at the end of a day, submit that to PracticePanther. They migrate your data usually first thing the next morning with they're back east. I'm in California. And for me, by the time I get in the morning, I usually have my data. So depends on where you are in the country. But the short answer is that usually happens within a 24-hour period. But then the data has to be evaluated to make sure that you're comfortable with where everything landed, everything's in the right place. And sometimes we have to go and kind of fix things a little bit. But usually within a day or so, you'll be ready to go.
Gotcha. I see a few more questions. Looks like someone's interested in scheduling a demo. I will actually reach out to you right after this and we can get that going. I also see, is there an additional monthly cost to integrate with calendaring such software such as Law Toolbox? Yes. So with our software, everything PracticePanther is included. When it comes to an additional integration like Law Toolbox, that would be a separate subscription, but we can put you in touch with them and they can definitely help you out with pricing as well.
And Eytan, why don't you talk about a little bit about what Law Toolbox is? I think some people may not understand what that means.
Yeah, sure. So what Law Toolbox is, it's actually the court rules based on your jurisdiction And then our software has a native integration with Law Toolbox that's going to allow you to have all of the court rules based on the location, based on the trigger date that you put in, and that'll actually calculate all the dates, put them directly onto your calendar, link them to the matter, and have it even send you reminders with pop-ups, emails, and text messages.
And one other question, somebody wanted to know if they had QuickBooks Pro, whether it would work, PracticePanther would work with the QuickBooks desktop version. The answer is no. I personally don't know of any product that's a cloud-based product that would work with a desktop accounting application. It's kind of like, speaking French and English, you know what I mean? They're entirely two different languages. And so when I was speaking of QuickBooks earlier, I was talking about QuickBooks Online, not the QuickBooks desktop version. All right. I don't see any other questions. Do you have any other on your end, Eytan?
I don't think so. If no one else has any other questions, keep in mind, there will be a recording of this webinar, so you can always reach out. You can always email us directly. You have the emails right here on the screen. And just wanted to thank everyone for tuning in. It was awesome to speak with Claire as well. Let me just come back and say hi. All right, hello. So thanks again for Claire. It's always a pleasure, having you on these calls with us. It's been a pleasure working with you for all these years. You've been an awesome asset to me and to every other firm that has worked with us in the past. So thank you again for joining, and thanks for everyone for tuning in today.
All right, thanks a lot for having me. You all have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.